During the last month, we've ordered as many as 10 cool gadgets from China, and now we're going to show them to you. I have long known about the existence of gadgets that are fighting with lint on clothing, but I thought they were ineffective. Then I saw this beautiful gadget from a new series and decided it was time to test it. For the test, I took my favorite sweatshirt, which I bought about 10 years ago. I think it's just the perfect candidate. Just look at how many fabric balls it has already got. And now we're going to live test it without editing, so you can see how it really works. And wow, it works really well! For quite a small cost, this device can give new life to so many things in our closet. Removing this pad, we can see how much of the pelleted fabric has gathered here. This nozzle with the blades can easily be replaced if they stick up. It is charged through the USB port. I really hope this will last me a long time. We also bought this little USB port thing. This is supposed to be plugged into a smartphone charging dock. As a result, you'll have a great nightlight illuminating the space near the bed. Moreover, you can leave it shining for the whole night, because the electricity amount it consumes is really small. Now, when going to the toilet at night, you'll clearly see everything and will not step on your cat. You may also use it together with a power bank as an emergency flashlight. It will provide you with a soft diffuse and a warm light. I also decided to buy and test this new egg timer. We need to put it in the water along with the eggs. Now, let's turn on the stove and see what happens. Over time, the egg timer, like the eggs themselves, warms from the edges to the middle. The difference is that in the case of the eggs we do not see this. While on the timer, the edges of the red zone begin to gradually turn white. This means that our egg is about as deeply cooked. Let's take out the first egg the moment when the timer is half done, and the second when it is completely white. Let's take the shell of the egg, which according to the timer is not cooked completely. And we've really got an egg with an uncooked yolk here. While the egg with the white timer is fully cooked as supposed. Of course, the results may vary depending on the size of the eggs, but in general, this device can simplify your life in this regard. But remember that it's important to keep the timer together with the eggs and at the same temperature. When I saw this, I could not believe that Rubik's Cube can be so small and still usable. Anyway, let's check it out together now. This is probably the smallest Rubik's Cube in the world. At least that's what it says on the package. It has the size of only 1 centimeter. And it seems to really work. At first, we twirled it with tweezers, but later we realized that it can be done by hand. I really have no idea how they managed to make it this small. Anyway, it would make a great gift for any fan of this puzzle. In addition, you can always carry it with you, and it will definitely fit in any pocket. Wading through the deep snow in standard boots, I bet you will face the problem of getting snow inside of your socks, which you then have to pick out after every couple of steps. To overcome this issue, I bought myself these devices. First, we need to open it up in the place of the Velcro closure. And then we put it on the foot right on the shoe. Then we use this special hook to fix it by the laces. Under the sole, we put the special strap and fix it on the other side as shown in the video. As a result, we have such a cool protection from the snow for our feet. Now you may not think about where you step and how deep the snow is. You can just go forward while the gaiters take care of all the work protecting your feet from snow, water and scratches by any branches. And your feet will be dry and comfortable. Sometimes I wonder how I manage to find such cool things. In my childhood, such a device was the dream of every child, and only the richest kids in our yard could afford them. This is the legendary Tamagotchi, which you can now buy on Aliexpress just for $2. This gadget allows you to choose one of dozens of pets and grow it. But be careful, it's a responsibility, since the day it is born, you have to take care of him on a daily basis, including feeding him, playing with him and cleaning up the poop. When I was a kid, I sometimes even woke up at night when I remembered that I forgot to feed my rabbit and that he was sleeping hungry at that moment. What do you think it is? You're definitely not gonna guess without our help. First, we put a tube inside a hole and cover it with a plastic cover. Now we take any container of water and put it in. Then we connect the power from a power bank, for example, and get a humidifier of a very high performance. There is an intermittent mode if you do not need so much moisture, and a continuous operation mode. Its advantage is that it requires very little space in storage, and can be used with absolutely any container. To use it with a deep bottle, you just need to change the rod for a longer one, and the device will also work fine. Sometimes when you come to school or work, you have nowhere to put your backpack, and you have to keep it on the floor, where it constantly falls and gets dirty. The Chinese came up with this cat with a tail, which you have to turn and hook on the table this way. Now you may hang your bag or backpack on this hook. At the end of the day, when you are going home, you can just take the kitty with you and no one will steal it. There are several color options and I got 3 of them to give to friends. At a first glance, this looks like a normal white yarn for sewing or knitting. But they have a super feature that only shows up when the light is off. Apparently they contain phosphorus that stores light energy and then emits it in the dark. It looks very cool and shines quite brightly. We could even see the letters and pictures in the book using the yarn as a flashlight. And imagine what a cool look it would be to have a hat tied with this yarn. And if you don't know how to knit a hat, you can create kind of an arm bracelet instead. Or a collar for a pet. Write your ideas on how we could use such a yarn. I once came across a video of a guy playing this game, and I felt like I needed to buy it as well. These are 2 people holding a hammer and a shield in their hand. The task of each player is to press the button and thus try to hit the head of the opponent with the hammer, but at the same time to protect your own head from his blows. Depending on the strength of the blow, the player's head shifts to the side until it completely gets off the torso. This means that the opponent won. Despite the apparent simplicity of the game, you can come up with your own tactics of protecting and attacking. For instance, doing a provocative motion that will make the enemy hit and thus leave his head unprotected. At this point, you should counterattack. I hope you enjoyed all these gadgets. I'll see you in the next video.